Hello, I'm Bumia Jakai, screenwriter. In this video, I want to talk about story outline and why it's important for you as a beginner to create one before you start writing your screenplay. A story outline is a document that contains the sequence by sequence breakdown of everything that will be happening in your screenplay, right from the very beginning through to the middle and all the way to the very end. It gives you the opportunity to see the entire shape of your story, to see the skeleton, as it were, before you begin to add flesh by way of dialogue and other elements. Now, what is inside a story outline? This is dependent on the sort of story structure that you as the writer wants to adopt, because there are very many options. But for the purpose of this video, we'll use the three-act structure. So in the first act, which is the setup, we have a sequence that introduces us to the protagonist or main character, followed by the next sequence, which shows us the inciting incident, which leads to the next sequence where the protagonist or main character sets their goal and realizes what is at stake if they do not succeed. This leads us to the second act, which is the conflict, where the main character or protagonist is now facing different obstacles that begin to get stronger as the story goes along. These obstacles lead our main character to then begin to take different twists and turns to solve for those obstacles, and then it leads us to seeing them starting to change and arc slowly and slowly. This leads us to the third act, where we have a sequence where the main character faces the biggest obstacle in your story. This leads to the next sequence where we see the character now fully evolved and arced. And we are finally presented with a character that is much different from the one we started the story with. Now, why is it important for you not to skip this step? First of all, it helps you identify where your character is arcing and if it is at the most appropriate place in your story. It also helps you tighten up your plot. If one sequence is not adequately leading to the next sequence and then the next sequence after that, you can remove and tighten because there's supposed to be a cause and effect. This happens, which leads to this, which leads to this, which leads to this. It also helps you save a lot of time when you get to your computer and you are stuck and you don't know what else to write. It also saves you from writing a screenplay that is too short because you've run out of ideas. So please run your good ideas through a story outline to be sure that it's solid enough to be stretched into an enjoyable 90 to 120 minute screenplay. I hope this helped and see you next time. Bye.